Let me tell you a lawyer story about how this car part can put you in jail. Now, there's one part on your car that can get you in a world of trouble. Now, it's not a huge horsepower motor. It's not super loud exhaust. This little part is about the size of your hand and changes analog information into electronic information that your car reads. Now, if this part is damaged or malfunctions, it can lead to tickets, fines, probation, court costs, driving school, and even jail. Now, after practicing criminal law for 25 years, I understand how important it is for defendants to understand the Georgia criminal court system, how the Georgia criminal court system works, and what can happen when they make important decisions in their cases. Now, that's why I wrote my fourth book, The Truth About Your Georgia Criminal Case. Now, my book explains how a case works its way through the Georgia criminal court system and explains in easy to understand terms important issues that folks should be aware of. And if you'd like a free copy, use Facebook Messenger and message the George McCranie Law Firm, or you can call us at 833-927-6227 and we'll send you an absolutely free copy. I want you to get this and get this information. But now my publisher has a limited number of copies available, so don't delay. Now, we have offices in Valdosta and Douglas, Georgia, but you don't have to come to us if you want to meet with us. We'll meet with you virtually, and you won't have to worry about the drive and spending all that gas money or forgetting an important document at home and something that we would need. So we want to make it easy for you to learn what the George McCranie Law Firm can do for you. So we'll be glad to meet with you virtually. So now let's talk about it. This very important part of your car is the speedometer sensor. All right, on one little end, it has small plastic gears usually that connect to the wheels or the axles of the car that turn, and the other end takes the analog input from your wheels and converts it into electronic data that your car uses to indicate the speed of your car. Now, when this one little part breaks, let me give you an example. We had a client speedometer sensor had 1.5 little gear splines that were damaged, kind of broken off. It caused his speedometer to register just over 24 miles an hour slower than his actual speed. Now, this client was traveling to Florida from Michigan and noticed on the interstate after he had stopped at a rest stop that folks seemed to be driving slower than usual. And apparently the splines had failed or were broken on that gear on the end when he exited the interstate to take a break. So within 5 miles of getting back on the interstate, he was stopped for a Georgia super speeder ticket, a super speeder speed. Now, a super speeder in Georgia on a Georgia interstate is any speed in excess of 85 miles an hour. And my client got one. Now, let me quickly tell you about my client. He was 67 years old. He drove a European sedan that's designed to drive really effortlessly on the German Autobahn at speeds in excess of 150 miles an hour. He said that his car really doesn't have a sense or give you a sense of going fast at the speeds that he drives. And he really didn't notice a higher speed than normal, just that other traffic seemed to be flowing slower than normal. He hadn't had a speeding ticket since his days in the military over 40 years ago. And also, I forgot, he has no accidents. He's what I call a historically safe driver. Now, my client was shocked when he was stopped by the local officer and he heard how fast he was going. He just didn't understand. So we got a call from him the day that he got the ticket. And our first recommendation, what he should do, was to take his car and get it checked out by the dealer or a licensed and certified mechanic shop. And that's to determine if there was anything or a mechanical failure that could cause his ticket. Now, 2 days later, we got the dealer service printout along with photos of the 1.5 little stripped damaged gears. And using this information, and this, it's really valuable evidence. And we also got in the mail from the dealer the actual damaged speedometer sensor. So we were able to show the government prosecutor and the judge was very reasonable, that it was a mechanical issue with the car that created this situation. And after some diligent research actually in the case, we were able to also show that our client had just passed an officer within a half a mile before he exited the interstate. And that officer, he wasn't speeding at that time. And this was information that came directly from that officer that we tracked down. So when we combined all this evidence with our client's squeaky clean driving history, we were able to get him out of this trouble and resolve the situation. So needless to say, our client was happy that we were able to resolve that super speeder citation without him having to return to Georgia to face a trial and all the negative consequences that go along with having to deal with something in court or a trial. Now, this one broken part on the car, the speedometer sensor, can easily cause a driver to get a speeding ticket, okay? Easily cause a driver to get a super speeder ticket, and where you're facing big fines, you're facing probation, court costs, court fees, huge increases in car insurance rates, and you could even face jail time. Now, I recommend if you get a speeding ticket and you think something is just wrong about it, okay, have your car checked out by the dealer or certified mechanic as soon as possible. All right. Now, this client, he followed our instructions and it saved his bacon. Really, it did. Now, I'm DUI and criminal defense attorney George McCranie. I have offices in Valdosta and Douglas, Georgia. I hope this information has helped answer some of your questions. And thanks for watching my video. If you would, like, subscribe, and share it. That will help get this information out to a lot more people. And remember, like I always say, admit nothing, deny everything, and demand proof. Thank y'all for watching.